Macbeth, by William Shakespeare. About the author. William Shakespeare is widely regarded as one of the greatest playwrights and poets in the history of English literature. He is often referred to as the Bard of Avon, due to his birthplace in Stratford-upon-Avon, England. His works have had an enormous influence on literature, language, and culture worldwide. Shakespeare's body of work includes approximately 39 plays, which can be categorized into tragedies, comedies, and histories. His plays explore complex themes such as ambition, love, power, identity, and morality. In addition to his plays, Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets and several narrative poems, including Venus and Adonis, and The Rape of Lucrece. His sonnets are renowned for their emotional depth and intricate language. Shakespeare's works have had a profound impact on the English language, introducing phrases, idioms, and vocabulary that are still in use today. His poetic and inventive use of language has made his works timeless. Shakespeare's works remain widely performed and studied around the world. His plays are known for their universal themes and relatable characters, making them accessible to audiences across cultures and generations. Shakespeare's influence extends beyond literature and theater into film, television, and other art forms. His works continue to inspire adaptations, interpretations, and discussions. William Shakespeare's contributions to literature, language, and culture have left an indelible mark on the world. His works continue to be celebrated and studied for their insight into the human condition and their artistic mastery. Significance of the title. The title of William Shakespeare's play, Macbeth, carries significant weight and importance, as it is named after the central character of the story. This choice of title highlights the personal focus of the play on the rise and fall of the character Macbeth, as well as the broader themes that his journey embodies. The play's title directly names its protagonist, emphasizing the centrality of Macbeth's character in the narrative. The story revolves around his actions, decisions, and eventual downfall. By naming the play after its main character, Shakespeare signals that this will be a deep examination of Macbeth's internal struggle, moral decline, and complex personality. The title, Macbeth, sets the stage for a tragedy centered on ambition and its consequences. Macbeth's ambition drives him to seek power, ultimately leading to his tragic end. The title foreshadows the corrupting influence of power on the protagonist. Macbeth's rise to power and subsequent descent into tyranny and paranoia are central to the play's plot. Naming the play after Macbeth underscores his moral transformation and decline. His journey from a respected nobleman to a tyrant is central to the play's exploration of good and evil. The title connects the play to its historical inspiration, the real King Macbeth of Scotland, though the play's events differ significantly from historical records. By choosing this title, Shakespeare ties the story to Scottish history, which would have resonated with King James I, who was of Scottish descent. The title's focus on the central character and his ambition to overthrow the king has political resonance, touching on concerns about loyalty and treason. The title suggests a personal journey, inviting the audience to follow Macbeth's transformation and the consequences of his choices. The title places the focus squarely on Macbeth, and his story's trajectory becomes apparent as the play progresses. His tragic fate is established by the end of the play, reinforcing the connection between his ambition and his demise. The choice to title the play after its main character has contributed to Macbeth's iconic status in literature and popular culture. His character's complex journey and moral ambiguity continue to captivate audiences. In summary, the title, Macbeth, signifies the central focus of the play on its protagonist's journey from ambition to tragedy, reflecting themes of power, corruption, and moral decay. It sets the stage for an in-depth exploration of the character's rise and fall and connects the story to historical and political contexts that would have resonated with Shakespeare's contemporary audience. Summary of the play, Macbeth. Macbeth is a 5-act tragedy by William Shakespeare, telling the story of Macbeth, a Scottish nobleman, and his rise and fall as he seeks power through ambition and the influence of supernatural prophecies. Here's a detailed analysis of the summary of the play act-wise. Act 1. The play opens with the 3 witches, or weird sisters, on a desolate heath. They speak in cryptic language, planning to meet Macbeth after a battle. King Duncan hears of Macbeth's bravery in battle against the rebels and the Norwegian king. Duncan orders the execution of the Thane of Cawdor, a traitor, and gives his title to Macbeth. The witches meet Macbeth and Banquo. They give prophecies. Macbeth will become Thane of Cawdor and then king, and Banquo's descendants will be kings. When Ross and Angus arrive to tell Macbeth he is Thane of Cawdor, the first part of the prophecy is fulfilled, sparking ambition in Macbeth. Duncan praises Macbeth and announces his son Malcolm as the Prince of Cumberland, the next in line for the throne. Macbeth sees Malcolm as an obstacle and begins contemplating murder. Lady Macbeth reads Macbeth's letter about the prophecies and his new title. She fears Macbeth lacks the ruthlessness to seize the throne, so she decides to push him to murder Duncan. Duncan arrives at Macbeth's castle and is warmly welcomed by Lady Macbeth. Macbeth debates the consequences of murdering Duncan and questions his own motivations. Lady Macbeth challenges his masculinity and resolve, persuading him to go through with the murder. Act 2. Banquo and his son, Flaunce, encounter Macbeth. Banquo is uneasy about the witch's prophecies, but Macbeth dismisses his concerns. Alone, Macbeth hallucinates a bloody dagger leading him to Duncan's chamber. Macbeth murders Duncan and returns to Lady Macbeth, shocked and guilt-ridden. Lady Macbeth calms him down and helps him cover up the crime. A porter humorously complains about being woken up. Macduff and Lennox arrive and discover Duncan's murder. Macbeth kills the guards to cover up the crime. Duncan's sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, flee to England and Ireland, fearing for their lives. Ross and an old man discuss unnatural occurrences following Duncan's death. Macduff suspects the sons of Duncan might be guilty of plotting their father's death. Act 3. Banquo suspects Macbeth may have killed Duncan to fulfill the witch's prophecy. Macbeth arranges for Banquo and Flaunce to be murdered to prevent Banquo's lineage from claiming the throne. Lady Macbeth and Macbeth express their discontent and fear. Macbeth plans another murder. The murderers kill Banquo, but Flaunce escapes. At a banquet, Banquo's ghost appears to Macbeth, causing him great distress. Lady Macbeth tries to calm him down. The witches meet with their mistress, Hecate, who chastises them for their interference and decides to involve herself more directly in the events. Lennox suspects Macbeth's guilt in the murders. Another lord tells him Macduff has gone to England to seek help from Malcolm. Act 4. Macbeth returns to the witches, who show him visions warning him to beware of Macduff, but also reassure him that he cannot be killed by any man born of a woman, and he will not be vanquished until Birnam Wood comes to Dunsinane Hill. Macbeth decides to kill Macduff's family. Macduff's wife and children are murdered on Macbeth's orders. Macduff and Malcolm plan to wage war against Macbeth. Macduff learns of his family's death and vows to kill Macbeth. Act 5. Lady Macbeth, plagued by guilt, sleepwalks and tries to wash imaginary blood from her hands. Scottish nobles gather to oppose Macbeth. Macbeth dismisses the threat against him, relying on the witches' prophecies for reassurance. Malcolm and Macduff led an army against Macbeth. They plan to use branches from Birnam Wood as camouflage, fulfilling one of the witches' prophecies. Lady Macbeth dies by suicide, implied. Macbeth remains defiant in the face of his enemies. Malcolm's army approaches Dunsinane, disguised with branches from Birnam Wood. Macbeth fights bravely but faces his impending doom. Macduff confronts Macbeth, revealing he was, from his mother's womb untimely ripped, born via C-section, thus not born of a woman, as the witches prophesied. Macduff kills Macbeth, and Malcolm becomes king. In summary, the play follows Macbeth's descent from an honorable warrior to a ruthless tyrant, driven by ambition and the influence of prophecies. His story is a cautionary tale of the dangers of unchecked ambition and moral corruption. The play ends with a restoration of order and Malcolm's ascension to the throne. Critical analysis of the play, Macbeth. Macbeth is one of William Shakespeare's most famous tragedies, telling the story of the ambitious Scottish nobleman, Macbeth, and his rise and fall as he seeks power at any cost. The play explores themes of ambition, power, guilt, fate, and the nature of evil. In this critical analysis, we will delve into key elements of the play, including its themes, characters, language, structure, and the overall impact of the work. The driving force of the play is Macbeth's ambition to gain power. His vaulting ambition leads him to murder King Duncan and seize the throne, and his subsequent actions show the corrupting influence of unchecked ambition. Lady Macbeth also exhibits ambition, manipulating her husband to commit the murder and challenging his masculinity when he hesitates. Guilt plagues both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth after they commit murder. Macbeth experiences hallucinations and paranoia, while Lady Macbeth is haunted by guilt, eventually leading to her mental breakdown and death. The play suggests that ambition and power come with a heavy moral cost. The witches' prophecies play a crucial role in shaping Macbeth's actions. They hint at his potential future as king, which drives him to take matters into his own hands to fulfill the prophecy. The interplay of fate and free will raises questions about how much control Macbeth has over his destiny. The play explores the descent into evil as Macbeth becomes more ruthless and paranoid. His moral decay is seen through his increasingly violent actions, such as the murder of Banquo and the Macduff family. Lady Macbeth's initial ruthlessness gives way to regret and despair, showing how evil can consume and destroy. Macbeth's character undergoes a significant transformation from a loyal and honorable nobleman to a paranoid and ruthless tyrant. His internal conflict and moral ambiguity make him a complex character, as he struggles between his ambition and his conscience. Lady Macbeth is a strong-willed and manipulative character who plays a key role in spurring her husband to murder. She embodies ambition and cruelty, yet her eventual unraveling reveals the consequences of her actions. Banquo serves as a foil to Macbeth, as he hears the witch's prophecies but chooses not to act on them immorally. His ghost haunts Macbeth, symbolizing the consequences of Macbeth's actions and his growing sense of guilt. The three witches are supernatural figures who set the play's events in motion with their prophecies. They represent the dark forces influencing Macbeth's choices. Shakespeare's language in Macbeth is rich with vivid imagery, particularly related to darkness, blood, and the supernatural. The use of blood imagery highlights the violence and guilt in the play. For example, Lady Macbeth's obsession with washing away the imagined bloodstains illustrates her overwhelming guilt. The supernatural elements, including the witches and visions, create an atmosphere of fear and foreboding. The play's five-act structure follows Macbeth's rise and fall. The progression from ambition and desire for power to guilt and despair is central to the plot. The play's pacing is fast, and the action is intense, keeping the audience engaged as they witness Macbeth's increasingly dire situation. William Shakespeare's Macbeth was written in the early 17th century, likely between 1606 and 1607, during the reign of King James I of England. This social and political context is essential for understanding the themes and elements of the play, as it reflects and engages with the concerns and interests of the time. The play was written shortly after James I ascended the throne of England in 1603. As the first monarch to rule both England and Scotland, James was particularly interested in the themes and settings of Macbeth, which takes place in Scotland and focuses on the Scottish monarchy. This doctrine held that kings were divinely appointed and should not be opposed. Macbeth's usurpation of the throne and the consequences of his actions can be seen as a critique of challenging the divine order. This was a failed attempt by a group of conspirators to assassinate James I by blowing up the House of Lords. The plot heightened fears of treason and rebellion, themes that resonate in Macbeth. During the time Macbeth was written, witchcraft and the supernatural were topics of significant concern. King James I even wrote a book called Demonology, in 1597, discussing witches and the occult. The inclusion of the three witches in the play taps into contemporary fears and interests. The play's themes of treason and violence reflect the political instability of the time. The gunpowder plot and ongoing concerns about potential rebellion or assassination attempts against the monarch may have influenced the play's focus on regicide and its consequences. The play explores the dangers of unchecked ambition and the lengths people will go to gain and maintain power. This reflects concerns about the ambitions of nobles and potential threats to the monarchy. Macbeth deals with questions of loyalty to the crown and the consequences of betrayal. This is relevant to the political situation of the time, where loyalty to the monarch was a significant concern. The play touches on the uncertainty of succession, an issue that was of great importance in early modern England. King James I had to navigate concerns about the succession of his own line and the stability of his rule. The themes of ambition, power, and the consequences of regicide would have resonated with Shakespeare's contemporary audience, many of whom would have been aware of recent political events such as the Gunpowder Plot. By setting the play in Scotland, Shakespeare could explore these issues without directly addressing England's political situation, giving him a level of safety in discussing potentially sensitive topics. Macbeth remains a powerful and relevant tragedy due to its exploration of timeless themes such as ambition, power, and guilt. Shakespeare's use of complex characters and poetic language enriches the play and provides audiences with a profound commentary on the human condition. The play's dark and ominous tone, coupled with its moral lessons, continues to resonate with audiences centuries after it was written. In summary, the social and political context of Macbeth provides insight into the play's themes and relevance to its original audience. It addresses concerns about monarchy, loyalty, and ambition that were central to the early 17th century. Themes. William Shakespeare's play, Macbeth, is known for its rich and complex exploration of several themes. These themes contribute to the play's enduring appeal and its powerful impact on audiences. Here are the key themes of the play and a detailed analysis of each. Ambition and power. The central theme of Macbeth is ambition, which propels the main character to seek power at any cost. Macbeth's unchecked ambition leads him to murder and tyranny, highlighting the dangers of pursuing power without moral restraint. Lady Macbeth is a driving force behind Macbeth's actions, pushing him to seize the throne through murder. Her ambition is initially stronger than his, but she eventually suffers the consequences of their actions. The play explores how power can corrupt individuals, as Macbeth becomes increasingly tyrannical and ruthless in his quest to maintain control. Guilt and conscience. Guilt plays a significant role in the psychological torment experienced by both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. Their inability to cope with their guilt leads to paranoia, hallucinations, and, ultimately, their downfall. Initially, Lady Macbeth seems immune to guilt, but she eventually succumbs to it, as seen in her sleepwalking scene where she tries to wash imaginary blood from her hands. Macbeth's guilt manifests in his hallucinations of Banquo's ghost and his fear of losing power. His guilt leads to a cycle of violence as he tries to secure his position. Fate and free will. The three witches' prophecies set the play's events in motion and influence Macbeth's actions. Their ambiguous and manipulative prophecies raise questions about the role of fate and free will. While the prophecies seem to predict Macbeth's future, it is his own decisions that lead him down a dark path. This suggests that his downfall is not solely due to fate but also his free will. The nature of evil. Macbeth's transformation from a loyal and honorable nobleman to a cold-blooded murderer reflects the corrupting influence of evil. Lady Macbeth plays a key role in encouraging Macbeth's evil actions, demonstrating how individuals can influence others' descent into darkness. The play explores the complexity of good and evil, with characters like Macbeth and Lady Macbeth displaying both noble and ruthless traits. Order and chaos. The play portrays the consequences of disrupting the natural order, including regicide and moral corruption. This disruption leads to chaos and instability in Scotland. The play concludes with the restoration of order when Malcolm ascends the throne, reflecting the idea that good must triumph over evil to restore balance. Deception and appearance versus reality. Characters in the play often present a false appearance to conceal their true intentions. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth hide their treachery behind a facade of loyalty. The witch's prophecies are deliberately ambiguous and misleading, leading Macbeth to a false sense of security and contributing to his downfall. Loyalty and betrayal. Macbeth betrays King Duncan, who trusted him, highlighting the theme of betrayal and its destructive consequences. In contrast to Macbeth, Banquo remains loyal to his moral principles and the throne, serving as a foil to Macbeth's character. Supernatural elements. The play is rife with supernatural occurrences, including the witch's prophecies, apparitions, and visions. These elements contribute to the play's dark atmosphere and shape the characters' actions. In summary, Macbeth explores themes of ambition, power, guilt, fate, and evil, among others. These themes are intertwined with the characters' actions and decisions, creating a complex and engaging narrative that examines the human condition and the consequences of moral choices. The play's exploration of these themes continues to resonate with audiences today. Characterization. William Shakespeare's play, Macbeth, is renowned for its complex and compelling characters, whose actions and decisions drive the narrative and themes. Here is a detailed analysis of the major characters in the play. Macbeth. At the start of the play, Macbeth is a respected and loyal nobleman, known for his bravery in battle. His ambition is awakened by the witch's prophecies and Lady Macbeth's encouragement. Macbeth struggles with his conscience and the moral implications of his actions, especially after murdering King Duncan. His initial hesitation shows his awareness of the consequences. As the play progresses, Macbeth becomes increasingly ruthless and paranoid, driven by the desire to secure his position. He orders the murder of Banquo, Flancay, and Macduff's family to eliminate perceived threats. Macbeth is a tragic hero whose tragic flaw leads to his downfall. His journey from hero to tyrant illustrates the corrupting influence of power. Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth is highly ambitious and plays a key role in pushing Macbeth to murder Duncan. She questions his masculinity to persuade him to commit the crime. Although initially ruthless and determined, Lady Macbeth's involvement in Duncan's murder begins to weigh on her conscience. Her sleepwalking scene reveals her overwhelming guilt. Lady Macbeth's guilt leads to her mental breakdown and eventual death. Her tragic end mirrors the consequences of unchecked ambition. Banquo. Banquo is Macbeth's friend and a nobleman known for his integrity. He hears the witch's prophecies but chooses not to act on them immorally. Banquo serves as a moral contrast to Macbeth, demonstrating loyalty and restraint where Macbeth does not. His suspicions about Macbeth highlight the latter's moral decline. Banquo's ghost haunts Macbeth during the banquet, symbolizing Macbeth's guilt and foreshadowing his downfall. King Duncan. King Duncan is portrayed as a kind and trusting ruler, which makes his murder by Macbeth all the more shocking and tragic. Duncan's death is a turning point in the play, setting off a chain of events fueled by Macbeth's ambition. Macduff. Macduff is a nobleman and a loyal supporter of the rightful king. He serves as a moral counterpoint to Macbeth and plays a key role in challenging Macbeth's tyranny. Macduff's family is murdered on Macbeth's orders, fueling Macduff's desire for revenge. His grief and resolve strengthen his determination to confront and kill Macbeth. Malcolm. Malcolm is King Duncan's son and the rightful heir to the throne. He flees to England after Duncan's murder to seek help and safety. Malcolm shows his caution and intelligence in testing Macduff's loyalty before trusting him completely. He is a wise and cautious leader. Malcolm's ascension to the throne at the play's end represents the restoration of order and the triumph of good over evil. The Three Witches. The Three Witches, or Weird Sisters, play a crucial role in the play by presenting prophecies that set the story in motion. Their influence shapes Macbeth's actions and choices. The witches' prophecies are ambiguous and manipulative, designed to lead Macbeth down a destructive path. They embody the theme of fate and its influence on free will. These major characters drive the narrative and thematic elements of the play, showcasing the interplay of ambition, power, guilt, and moral corruption. Their complex motivations and personalities contribute to the enduring impact and richness of Macbeth.